guys, welcome to another episode of Dexter Cosplayer. I'm Ishak and today I'm gonna be showing you how I made these boots from the Doom Eternal game. These are Doomslayer boots, and yes, the shoe does come off, and yes, there are two of them. Okay, so without further ado, let's get to cosplaying. For this video, I'm using a Pepakura model that I procured from Heroes Workshop. It's an online store that sells different kinds of PDOs and models of this kind of Pepakura. And after I cut out the patterns from the paper, I traced them onto the 7mm EVA foam that I'm using for this build. So as you can see, this is a mirror piece that I actually just flip over to get the other side. And I draw the lines with a silver pen, a silver marking pen. That's just easy, and I just cut it off with a hobby knife, and I'm actually using anti-cutter here. Some people also call it a hobby knife, but whatever. I'm using 45-degree angle. Yeah, I'm using 30-degree angle blades, and as you can see, the cuts I made, those were all 90-degree cuts. And I just continue on to tracing the patterns and adding angle cuts and heel and valley cuts wherever it's needed, so that the shape of the knee is as it is on the Pepakura model. You can actually sort out the angles that you need to cut from the PDO model. Some valley cuts are not actually valley cuts, they just look like valley cuts, but you don't have to do any kind of angle cuts over there, any kind of heel or valley cuts. You can just do some straight cut, 90-degree angle cuts, and the pieces will line up perfectly. But some pieces do need to be cut in angle cuts, just like this one. I'll have to cut this in a 60-degree angle in a valley cut so that it actually lines up with the other pieces. For gluing, I'm using rubber cement. It's the ideal glue for using in Pepakura models and in cosplaying. Most of the cosplayers outside and inside my country use this kind of rubber cement for cosplaying. But I also use super glue sometimes, but not regularly, because the contact cements work great, but sometimes they just don't actually stick over there, or it may take time for the glue to dry. So for fast acting actions I use super glue. But and again, sometimes you may forget, or I actually forget sometimes, to apply a coat of rubber cement over there, and there's not actually too much time to apply and wait again. So what I just do is I just drop some super glue over there and then just glue it out. So as you can see, for the angle cuts, the pieces are lining up perfectly and they are forming angles, so that these are forming a little valleys over there, so that the so that the knee part of the boots have a little dimension to them, and they are not just two-dimensional pieces. You can rub off the excess contact cement with your fingers, and it actually doesn't stick, and you can just pull it off even if it sticks to your finger. The rest of the pieces, I make angle cuts where necessary, and I just glue them on with contact cement and super glue when it's needed. And the rest is just the same process over and over again, and it's just a great big montage. Just enjoy. Some pieces have little raised panels over here, so that to make that I actually cut a little bit of extra pieces, and they're called lips over there, so that I can just glue it over there without actually making any kind of angle cuts or any kind of problem. So because of that extra lip over there, the pieces line up perfectly, as you will see in a little bit. Okay, time to add the raised panels over here. As you can see, I'm just laying it on, and the under part over there goes under the extra line. Okay, and so that it lines up perfect. So on the extra part of the foam. After the crafting was finished, the shins turned out to be much more thicker than my feet, my leg. Sorry. So they were much more thicker than my leg, so it's harder to wear. So what I did is I cut open a 1 inch panel from the backside, so that it doesn't make that much of a difference in the design. I cut it off, and then I glued the shin back together, and it was as good as new. I just like every part else, I glue it using contact cement, and I after applying a thick coat of contact cement, I waited for a while, like a minute or two, and then just added them and just joined them together seamlessly as I could, as carefully as I could. And it's really actually important that I maintain a steady balance over there, so that they look as they are right now. After that, they were still a little bit loose on my legs, so I added upholstery foam inside with using contact cement. Upholstery foam is actually addable with contact cement without using super glue. I recommend using contact cement, because super glue will just make the upholstery foam hard. Now, after adding the upholstery foam, you can see that the space inside has dramatically decreased, and it makes it easier for me to slip my leg in without having to make an incision here or any kind of joint, so that the shin looks seamless. And it also makes the space inside cramped enough so that my leg won't move around and make the shin wobble when I walk. And so that's much better. Made the shoes just as the way I made the shins, but as you can see, there are velcro straps that are over here, here, and 5 places. Okay, so I added it here, here, and here. Okay, mirror places on both feet. I also added a buckle over here so that it can fit on my leg properly. And this is how I wear the shoes. I put my feet in, and there is a unused sandal over there that I had left over, and after that I just I just use the buckle, and the shoe stays in place, and I can walk around and run around just like a normal shoe would. Sorry about the hairy leg shoulder. And after I've done crafting the whole thing, I can just add the shin to the boots, and they fit perfectly. And as you can see, I'm giving it a nice shake in front of you, and it's not falling off. So it's easy, and it's safe to say that when I walk, this shin will not be moving around. I added this velcro because most of the time what happens is that when you walk around, the shin gets turned, or you can see that it's displaced most of the time. So like, even though the shin is attached to the thigh piece, it gets a little bit displaced. So I figured that and in addition to attaching it to the thigh piece, I also attached it to the shoe piece so that it won't move around as much. So it makes it easier to walk in, and it's much more functional. Normal boots, I mean. So sorry. And so that's it. All that's left to do is put on minor details over here and then paint the whole thing, which, as you know, I will do it later when the whole armor is finished. So if you like this video, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and show your support so that I can make more videos like this. Thank you everyone, and see you next time.